Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Reading Bad Steam Reviews. I'm your host, Too Bold for This World, and today's game is Risk of Rain 2. Game is not bad, but have some issues which makes her unplayable at this moment. Number 1. Where is teleport? Goal in the game is to find a teleport. When you activate it, you need to fight with the boss. The problem is that you can visit all the places on the map 10 times and not find the teleport. Why? Because it likes to spawn inside the mountaint. Sometime you can only see few pixels of it. Number 2. During one session, I played almost 1 hour because I could not find second teleport. I killed thousands of monsters, gathered thousands of gold, and suicide because I could not find teleport. I get nothing in reward, no new class, no artifacts, nothing. It looks like there is no roguelike mechanics implemented yet in Risk of Rain 2. I will wait with refund. I hope they will fix these problems soon. I love this review. Counterpoint number 1. That's literally the point of the game. You dropped in a world, and then you ask the question, where is teleport? You go find teleport, you go to next world, and you do it all again. If you don't like this loop, you're not gonna like Risk of Rain 2. And number 2, it's roguelite, not roguelike. Let me be a little pedantic about this for a second. And also, they are implemented, but it's not like other roguelites where you die, you get a bonus, and that bonus makes it easier on you. Some of the items might make it easier on you, but it's not the same. It's not like Binding of Isaac where you unlock super ridiculously overpowered items that can carry you through a game. Anyway, I hope you found that teleport, man. It was probably just on the other side of the mountain that you forgot to look at.
Aw, man, I have work in a few hours.
Does anybody else think that this is a positive review instead of a negative review? I think it's a positive review.
Game unplayable in current state.
What's the state of it? New York? It's like the one in the previous video. You gotta give me more than that, dude. You gotta give me more than that.
The maps are a sprawling mess with no way to orient yourself. Bosses are ridiculously tanky, which just results in a battle of attrition, and the portals are hard to find, meaning that I take too long to complete levels, which results in a double boss spawn.
I don't think they're too... I don't find the maps a sprawling mess, personally. Sure, they're a little bit confusing at first, especially on your first runs through a world, or your first time experiencing one of the many worlds in this game. But a sprawling mess? I don't see it. I can't find the words to make this better than it is.
Extremely repetitive after 40 minutes. Refunded. How can this be at 96% positive reviews?
I don't know, maybe because people like it. I like it. I love this game. This game's freaking amazing, man. It's amazing. Oh, broaden your horizons. A whole new world is out there in the world of roguelikes.
Played for almost 1 hour. Could not find the portal. Came really close to throwing up. The worst part about PS1 era adventure games, i.e. not knowing where to go next, turned into a full game. Not only uninstalled game, but also uninstalled Steam. Recommend if you hate your life, have literally nothing else to do, and love experiencing frustration and discomfort.
That was a little extreme. I mean, I know some people get motion sickness with video games in general, but especially like third-person and first-person games, but don't you usually know these things about yourself before going into these kinds of games? One of the greatest games I ever played! Alright, let's just turn this little segment into a public service announcement. If you're going to be writing reviews on Steam, especially for an indie game, please do not make reviews like this. Indie developers, especially if they don't have an audience like Risk of Rain 2 does, they rely on good reviews to sell their games. If you make a review like this just because you think it's going to be funny, you're probably hurting that developer. So please do not do this. Think of your indie developers and show them some love. In fact,
if you have an indie game that you really liked and you didn't leave a Steam review for it, go leave a positive Steam review. It's really going to make some of those developers happy. Trust me.
Quick play is just people hoarding all the items. If you play it, just be greedier than the others.
This doesn't really feel like a negative review to the game. It just sounds more like a negative review to the rest of the people playing with you. Granted, I would like for there to be different items given to different players, so there's like some sort of item sharing system involved. I think the first game had it, and it worked all right, except sometimes you would open a chest and you can't have whatever you just opened because it gave it to the other player. But you know what? I have faith that the developers will come up with something. You just gotta be patient. And again, this sounds more like a review with the people that you played with as opposed to a review for the game itself.
Boring!
You're boring. Got him. Next review. Played an hour, got a refund. An hour later, did buy the game again, really liking it. I actually love this review too. I mean, this is a microcosm of a guy making a decision, realizing that decision is a mistake, undoing that decision, realizing that undoing that decision was a mistake, owning that mistake, and undoing the undoing of the decision. And then he liked it at the end. It's a beautiful story. 10 out of 10. Better love story than Twilight. And yeah, I know this is a positive review. I don't want to just highlight all the negative reviews because I feel like that might encourage people to make more negative reviews. So, you know, let's take a little bit of both. We can find bad reviews in here too, right? Players will be dry as this installment has no rain. Okay. Sure, I'll give it to you. There is no rain in this game. However, there is a world. There is a world set in a swamp, and you can get wet all you want there. Trust me. It's so wet there.
Better than crack.
You know, something about this review, I know a lot of people like to say things like better than crack, better than heroin, better than sex. But I think a lot of these people saying these things have never done the thing that they say it's better than. Although, this is less likely to kill you.
It's all about speed and shooting. I'm getting too old to enjoy this kind.
Oh man. Now I'm sad. Does he just not enjoy it off the basis of whether or not it's a shooter and kind of twitchy? Or does he not enjoy it because he's too old to effectively do the shooty twitchy thing? Oh.
Absolutely terrible game. I know my playtime is extremely low, but I feel like if I experience a glitch 5 seconds into playing, then the rest of the game shouldn't see the light of day.
Okay, that's a little bit harsh in my opinion. I know I've harped on not giving early access games a pass for bad gameplay or poor design, but I don't feel like this game falls into that. Sure, there might have been a glitch within the first 5 seconds of you playing the game, but to say that that's representative of the rest of the game and that the rest of the game should not see the light of day because you found a probably minor glitch in the first 5 seconds of playing an early access game less than a month after it came out on Steam, it's a little pretentious. So a lot of you decided to comment about my commentary about Steam reviews on a video game in my last video, so I wanted to take a moment to comment about the comments that you made on my commentary about those Steam reviews of a video game. I figured this is the perfect video to do that on, to, complete the cycle of commentary.
25 hours to beat Sekiro? Well, more like 50 to 60 hours for normal player, I think. At the other hand, if you have superhuman reflexes, I think it's possible. I got a number of comments like this. I just kind of pulled 25 hours out of the air from hearing passing comments of other people saying that it should take around 25 hours. I didn't know at the time if that was true or not, and I think with my current playthrough, it's going to be taking me more than 25 hours as well. So don't feel bad, any of you who have taken too long for that.
You look like the uncle from Osmosis Jones without any hair, in a good way. Chris Elliott, but young.
Just imagine him, but younger, and without any hair? If you see it, let me know, because I looked it up. I don't. T-Fanatic was very helpful and gave me a pronunciation guide, because apparently I was pronouncing Sekiro wrong. Let's see. Sekirawa. Thank you, T-Fanatic.
Who is this man? Why is he in my feed? What is wrong with his head? He looks like a walking Q-tip. I could go blind from the gleam off that dome.
Ooh, that's a high compliment for a bald man. By the way, am I the first bald man you've ever seen in your life?
Because we're pretty common, we're everywhere, and we're coming for you. We're gonna find you, and we're gonna make you bald too!
I got a lot of comments about the performance issues that I talked about in the video on Sekiro, and let me reiterate, it doesn't matter if it works fine on your machine. You don't have the same machine as everybody else does. I have a GTX 1080 and I was having a hell of a time running this game. And I've played other games that have been much more resource intensive than Sekiro, and Sekiro, and they run fine. They ran fine while I was streaming. So there are some performance issues, at least on my machine, and other people obviously are having the same issues. Remember, it's not just your GPU, it's the whole package. This one says, careful not to fall into the X hours fallacy. Dude plays for a few hours, clearly he doesn't know what he is talking about, review sucks. Or dude plays for a lot of hours, clearly he enjoyed himself, why the bad score, review sucks. This guy has a point, you have a point, a streamer, and you other people who brought this same thing up. I'll try not to fall into that in the future. Obviously, there are some situations where the hours played can be important to the story and the comedy of reading that review, but clearly it's not. Some of the ways that I used it in the last video were incorrect and fallacious and should not have been done, and I apologize for that. I'll try to do better. And finally, I also got a lot of comments about people telling me that you can cut some of the bamboo in the game, and I just gotta say, you missed the point. Thank you. And with all that out of the way, hope you enjoyed this video, hope you enjoyed this new little segment at the end of this video. I have a few ideas for the next video, but as always, if you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below. I am only trying to cover games that I have personally played and have personally experienced, so unfortunately, I can't always take something that's going to be, super hot or super trendy, or maybe it's even not super hot or trendy and I just haven't had a chance to play it because I don't have a lot of time. This isn't my main source of income. I have a full-time job that I spend a lot of my waking hours in. So hopefully you understand that limitation, and hopefully you enjoy this video, and hopefully you're enjoying this series. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye. I don't see the dead pixel in my viewfinder. I saw it in the video after everybody mentioned it. Ogres have layers, and so do I. Don't include that.